Hey everyone, Nicholas, and I want to make sure you guys have an update here on an article that I just ran across regarding the California ED unemployment space. So, as you guys know, B of A is the single provider for all debit cards that payments are issued upon for all unemployment claims. And this article goes into quite a bit of detail about the fact that their contract, B of A's contract with ED, was just renewed for 2 more years, but B of A doesn't want to actually have the contract renewed at all. So there's actually a fight going on here. It doesn't sound like B of A has much of a choice. But what's kind of interesting is actually why EDD chose B of A again to do it. Now, that I'm not entirely sure of, but one thing that is kind of curious here is this article clearly states that EDD made $47 million off of fees using B of A cards, right? So every time that you guys are using your UI cards for purchases or potentially taking money off of your card, EDD gets a cut of that. And they made $47 million during the pandemic. And that's probably an important reason why they decided to keep the contract. So, without all those assumptions being aside, let's take a look at the news article. I'll read it to you, and then I'll have some commentary in the back end, okay? So it states, just how functional is California's unemployment department? Apparently so dysfunctional that Bank of America, which since 2010 has had an exclusive contract with the state to deliver unemployment benefits through prepaid debit cards, wants to end the contract, even though the EDD just renewed it for another 2 years. The news, first reported by ABC7 in San Francisco, comes about a month after a federal judge, as part of a class action lawsuit, first reported by Cal Matters, ordered Bank of America to stop using an automated fraud filter that blocked tens of thousands of legitimate claimants from accessing their benefits after they reported suspicious account activity. The bank said it received 230,000 claims of debit card fraud from October 2020 through March 2021. Bank of America's desire to end the contract is striking, given that both the bank and the state rake in merchant fees every time an unemployment debit card is swiped. EDD has pocketed millions in fees itself during the pandemic. It earned more than $47 million from March 2020 through April 2021, even though the claims of more than 1.1 million jobless Californians remain in limbo. However, Bank of America has told state lawmakers it lost hundreds of millions of dollars on the contract last year as it scrambled to respond to California's rampant unemployment fraud, which experts say could total upwards of $31 billion. Make America states, we have advised the state that we would like to exit this business as soon as possible. Ultimately, the cost of California's unemployment fraud will likely fall on taxpayers, and the businesses will likely shoulder the staggering weight of California's unemployment insurance debt, which experts estimate could reach $26.7 billion by the end of the year. Meanwhile, EDD is still struggling to answer the millions of calls it receives each week, so much so that California's 80 state assembly members were just given the green light to hire 2 staffers each to handle EDD problems. Okay, guys, so a lot of news to unpack in this. Broadly speaking, right? EDD's given them another 2 years on the contract that B of A will have exclusively. B of A doesn't want the contract because they say the fees and the fraud were too high for them and they incurred massive losses. We have some other news in here that both B of A and EDD, are receiving funds via these debit cards, and that creates an interesting dynamic there, right? Like, why does EDD keep picking B of A? Well, maybe that's one of the reasons, because B of A gives them a cut of the merchant fees. So there's a bit of a conflict of interest there potentially. But look, all this aside, this is just news so you guys can know what's happening on in the space. As always, if you're having any difficulty with a pending status or any type of issue with EDD that you believe you need to call, I really suggest you watch my other videos on this, and I'll always put those demos like I do at the back end of the video to show you how to call for free, as well as how to use a paid service like Claimer, okay? Claimer works. It's there for you guys. If you want it, it's an option, and I hope you guys will give it a chance if you're tired of calling. I hope you guys continue to like and subscribe to the channel. It's been growing a lot recently, and I really appreciate that. So continue to give me all of your comments. I hope my comments that I'm giving back to you guys are valuable, and I really appreciate the community that we're building here. Thanks a lot. So here's a little trick to call someone quickly, although it's still very slow. So dial 833-978-2511 and you'll hit 1 for English. And about 1 minute and 20 seconds later, you're going to hit 132 to navigate through the menu very quickly. 99 times out of 100, they're just going to say thank you for calling. We're too busy to take your call now. And then they're going to hang up on you. Just redial again and again and again. Now you'll always be able to call this number over and over again for free, but I'm going to show you how to use a paid version that helps a lot. All right guys, so we're going to go to claimer.com. First thing you'll do is enter in your phone number, including the zip code. The next thing is go ahead and select California from the scroll down list. Now that you've done that, press the Call Now button. This next screen is very simple. You'll enter your name, your email, and all of your card information. Press the green Pay button to move on. Now you're going to get a success message. This success message will let you know that you should be receiving a call from 800-300-5616. All right, now that you've received this phone number, answer it and stay on hold. This is your callback from EDD. Do not use their hold feature, all right? They will disconnect you. Stay on the line until an EDD rep picks up.